So this new idea that I want to share with you today is called Collaborative Networks. This is basically a new approach that we have. Thank you. A new approach that we're taking in the last few months for DAOs. And to explain this approach, I want to present this. Basically, for a long time, we've been thinking about DAOs as an extrapolation from corporates. And this took us quite a mileage. It served us well. But in the last year, basically, we realized that this has two main downsides. One is that it's very hard to explain. If you have an analogy, a good analogy, or if you present something new, then you need to draw it as something that people know and just, then draw the delta, draw the difference. And here, actually, the difference is pretty big. It's very hard to understand DAOs from just corporates. So if you want to say DAOs will replace corporates or DAOs will be better and more efficient, it's very hard for people to get how. And basically, then, whoa. It's not the punchline yet, wait. Okay. So the first problem, as I said, is that it's very hard to get. The second problem is that it misses a whole dimension that we found to be very important, and this is the social dimension. Okay, so basically, if you think of it, we call it like hard governance and soft governance. So there is a lot in governance to the social, to the common values and the common knowledge that the organization has, that the people or the members have. So in the last few months, we started to think of DAOs from a different approach. And this new approach is basically an extrapolation from social media, specifically social media groups. And you can think of it very simply now that it's almost natural. If you want to explain to someone what a DAO from this direction, even if this guy has no idea what a DAO is, no idea what a blockchain is, think of this simple explanation. A DAO is like a Facebook group, only it has budget and people can propose and vote on proposals. It's easy. It nails it, okay? So, of course, it's not as easy as that. There's a lot of details, there's a lot of technical and infrastructure and whatever, but you can still make a very solid point, a very solid, sell point for someone who never heard of it. So, in a sense, what I'm thinking, or what I want to share with you is that in the last couple of months, I feel that DAOs are actually much closer to social media rather than to corporates. So that's, if you have to basically get one thing from my talk, take this, okay? By the way, I said extrapolation, but for the mathematician between us, this is interpolation now, so it's much easier. Okay, never mind, geek joke. Okay, the next thing I want to talk about is mobile. Okay, so it's related, but it's actually more a technical issue. So for as long as we have dApps were mainly on the web, like web apps, okay? And this served us pretty well, but the reason for that was basically just because of infrastructure. It was very hard to build the apps even on web, and mobile was looked like climbing the Everest, okay? And I want to share with you this gut feeling that I have. Okay, I have this, I'm feeling the technology ripens, I'm feeling it. And I think you can see it with we have Martin here, so Nose is safe on the mobile. All these mobile wallets, we have now a MetaMask beta, if you've seen it on mobile. I can feel the technology, we're getting there, okay? And I feel this is very important, and I think we will see the impact and the next wave of the apps on mobile. And this also relates to social media, because one of the big things in social media is that it's so accessible on mobile. That's what makes it successful. This takes me to Mars. So, Why Mars? So I'm guessing most of you have seen today or hopefully used Alchemy Earth, the current version of Alchemy. And Alchemy Earth it's the third version of UI for DAOstack, and trust me, it took us a long while to get it working, and the infrastructure was horrible, and it was hard to get it. But I want to announce today that the next version of Alchemy, which will be codenamed Alchemy Mars, we're planning to launch that on Q1, and it will stop focusing on infrastructure. It will start focusing on the two things that I've said earlier. So social, and so collaborative networks, and mobile. So I think this is where we should go. The last thing that I want to share with you is Genesis Beta. So Genesis is the first DAO on DAOstack. It's the DAOstack DAO. I don't like this. I don't like this definition. And it's the DAO that is supposed to support and serve the ecosystem of DAOstack. Okay. So Genesis was built in steps or designed in steps. The current Genesis is called Genesis Alpha, and now there is a movement in Genesis to transform itself to Genesis Beta. Part of it is being basically the first collaborative network, and this collaborative network is aimed to govern and build the infrastructure for DAOstack. And I want to share something about how I see Genesis Beta. So I want Genesis Beta to be like an alliance. I don't want it just to be us in there, but an alliance of projects, of groups and individuals also that care about DAOs. Okay. So the most important thing is that as part of this Genesis Beta, if you're builders, it doesn't have to be coders, right? I like coders, okay, I'm a coder, but even, like if you're building like groups or you're good with building social groups, that's also very important. So please join us. That's my Telegram. That's the DAOstack Twitter. You can troll me as much as you like. No dick pics, please. Okay. Thank you.